There's been a few investors who've put some acquisitions on hold, but by and large the market has been very liquid, and the majority of investors are still investing. Obviously we've got a wide range of types of investor, core buyers straight up all the way up to opportunistic funds. So everyone has a different view on life, everyone's looking at a slightly different product. But as of yet, there's been no major say reluctance to look at our markets, or say the shadow of Brexit means that we are not going to be looking at your markets because we're unsure of what's happening. In fact, maybe it makes our markets a bit more attractive because they appear more stable.
Okay, yeah, I think it's important. An important thing to understand is that these markets have now become institutional. There were, before the last financial crisis, Central Eastern Europe was a niche market, and you would mainly see what I would call Central Eastern European specialized funds investing there. You had the Heitmans of this world, and you had G Capitals with a division that went there. You had some Austrian investors like Europolis at the time, but it was really a niche pocket rather than mainstream. One of the reasons was that these markets never had seen a downturn. They only started like in the early 2000s in earnest, and then up until 2007, 2008, they had only seen growth. So it needed a downturn. It needed to see how these markets would behave in a downturn, and as I said, they've actually behaved remarkably stable. I mean, Poland was the only country in Europe that never went to negative growth, even at the trough of the crisis. So investors now look at Central Europe as a mainstream market, a small market, admittedly, but I would still say, certainly for the big four, it's mainstream investment market. It's no longer a niche market, and I think that's an important one to understand.
Yeah, I think that it's two or three things. Also, you can see the weight of money that's actually looking to be in Europe shows that these markets are now solid investment markets. Especially Czech. You forgot to charge it as well. But the Czech Republic and Poland particularly, yields are very different to some of the stronger markets. And when you see sort of industrial yields down sub 6.5, sub 6.5, down to the latest Amazon in Poland was 5.5, 5.25, I think it was. So you're seeing amazing yields. But then when you think that you're getting in somewhere like Poland or Germany a yield with a 15-year Amazon lease, if that was in the UK, it would be 4%. Well, is that much difference between the two now, when you've got a very safe market in Central Europe? So I think there's a huge amount of money that's come in. I mean, for us as warehouse developers, the big change in the market was when investors actually started realising that over long-term returns, we give better returns than any other sector at the moment. We have low capex. We have tenants who'll regularly take leases and stay in buildings. Our retention rate is massive. So all those have added up to Central Europe being very strong. We're still 40% in Western Europe, so I'm not just pushing the Central European because we've got all our business there. It's not. But yeah, I think it's investors. And on the chart that Mark showed earlier, there weren't any Far East investors shown. I think that's another big market. When he does the 2016 figures, that's going to change in 2017 even further. And that equally means that the lack of UK investment, if there is a lack, I don't think it'll drop hugely after Brexit, won't make too much difference.
I mean, the big investment markets in Europe are always UK, France and Germany. And I don't think, frankly, that will change after Brexit either. I mean,
I agree.
UK will stay a major investment market. I mean, there may be some dips, but it'll still be one of the three big markets. But the question is, what are the next best markets to invest in? And it used to be Italy and Spain, obviously, before the crisis. And now I think it's really more Scandinavia and Central Europe.